This video is brought to you by the Critical Language Service. To learn more about our Arabic courses taught via telepresence and video conference to schools and other groups, visit our website at www.criticallanguageservice.com. Roots, verb forms, and the Arabic dictionary. So, we've talked about before that Arabic words are composed of two things, roots and patterns. And working together, these two factors come up with a definition. So all Arabic words have a root, and roots have meaning. But so do the patterns. So the pattern can slightly alter the meaning of the root. So we put the root into different patterns, and then the meaning kind of changes, but the meaning is always somehow related to the original meaning of the root. Let's take a look at this example from a dictionary which is organized under the European system of Arabic grammar. So, under this system, the dictionary that this is from is organized by roots. We have our base form of the word here. I'll write it a little bigger for you to see it. And in its basic form, it means to appear, to show, specifically a new moon, to begin, set in, and that's it for Form 1. Next, we have Form 2. And you can see here that Form 2 is introduced through the Roman numeral 2. And when we take the basic root and we put it in the pattern for Form 2 verbs, which is fa'ala, tashadda, the meaning changes, and the meaning becomes to say the words La ilaha illallah, or to shout with joy, rejoice, exult, be jubilant, applaud, acclaim, cheer, and so on. So there's 10 different verb forms, and not all roots can be put into every single verb form. So this particular root doesn't have a Form 3 version. So we skip next to Form 4 here. And in Form 4, it once again means to appear. And it again means to cheer and exult. We have a slightly new variation in Form 4 that we didn't see before in terms of the meaning. To offer up. Then we see 5 here, represented by the Roman numeral. And when the root letters are put into Form 5, the verb Form 5, the meaning of the verb is to shine, gleam, glow, be radiant, to beam with joy, to be delighted. Once again to be jubilant, once again to cheer, once again to rejoice, and again to exult and be jubilant. And we skip through it again because there's no Form 6, so we go directly to Form 7. And in Form 7 we have some new definitions. To fall heavily, to pour down rain, to begin, take up, undertake. It also means to embark upon. And then we skip Forms 8 and 9 and we go directly to 10, represented by the X here, the Roman numeral for 10. And in this form, it means to begin, set in, to raise one's voice, to intone, strike up, begin, start, open, introduce, initiate. So you see that although the definitions were slightly different depending on the pattern, they all related to each other. So the definition is really a compromise between the root and the pattern. And under the European tradition, you organize the dictionary by root, and then you list the meaning of the word in the various verb forms according to the number that has been assigned to that verb pattern. And in the upcoming sections, you're going to take a much more in-depth look at each of these patterns.
Form 1 verbs share the same basic stem pattern of 2 syllables. So let's take a look at Form 1. As you can see, it has 2 syllables. The first syllable has the conjugating prefix such as ya, and it also always starts with a fatha. The first syllable has a fatha. What I mean by conjugating prefix is that ya is usually goes with huwa yadrus, whereas if I want to say nahnu, naf'al, nadrus. And the second syllable has the stem vowel, which varies from verb to verb. Like if I put dhamma, it will be yaf'ul, yaf'ul, like yadrus, yadrus. Same if I change it with the dhamma with fatha, yaf'al, yaf'al, like ya'mal, ya'mal. And same for kasra, yaf'al, as in a'rif, ya'rif, sorry, ya'rif. Notice that Form 1 is the only verb form with an irregular stem vowel, because the vowels that you can use depend on the verb itself. Form 2. يفعل. This form has 3 syllables instead of 2, including the conjugating prefix. It has a shadda on the second root consonant, and this shadda changes the meaning of the verb. Let's compare yadrus versus yudarris. It's basically the same word, but once you change the voweling, and by that I mean the pattern, you get he studies and to make somebody study or teach, i.e. to teach. So you can see that this pattern kind of has the meaning of to do something, to be active. So again, يدرس is a form 2 verb, whereas يدرس is a form 1 verb. So let's look at examples of form 2 fully conjugated. You have the pattern يفعل, the form يفعل, and so you get the stem and you just simply add the first syllable and the vowels, and the first syllable changes with the pronoun. So أنا أدرس, أنت تدرس, أنت تدرسي, تدرسين, هو يدرس, هي تدرس, نحن ندرس, أنتم تدرسوا, أنتم تدرسون, هم يدرسوا, هم يدرسون. Again, it's just a matter of adding the syllable and the vowels. Form 3 يفاعل, يفاعل. Form 3 has 3 syllables like form 2, and it has an alif in the second syllable. يفاعل. Form 3 verbs you know. So if you observe this pattern, يفاعل, you'll see that all you need is the prefix, conjugation prefix, the vowels, and the alif. So أنا أشاهد, أنت تشاهد, أنت تشاهدي or تشاهدين, هو يشاهد, هي تشاهد, نحن نشاهد, أنتم تشاهدون, تشاهدوا, هم يشاهدون, يشاهدوا, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is form 3.
Form 5 يتفاعل, يتفاعل.
The stem pattern of form 5 is longer than those of form 2 and form 3. تفاعل. Like form 2, it has a shadda on its middle root letter. It has an additional consonant, ta, that is part of the pattern, not the root. So because of the extra consonant, it has an extra syllable. The first syllable is the conjugation prefix, in this case, ya. And the extra syllable, ta, is the second one. And the third one is فعل. And the stem vowels are all fatha, ya, ta, fa'al. Okay, let's look at an example of form 5. We have يتفعل, and the verb is يتذكر. So you have the stem and the pattern يتذكر. With أنا أتذكر, see the conjugation prefix. أنت تتذكر, أنت تتذكرين or تتذكري, هو يتذكر, هي تتذكر, نحن نتذكر, أنتم تتذكرون or تتذكروا, هم يتذكرون, يتذكروا. To remember in form 5. For now, all you need to know is that these patterns exist. It'll be fun for you to know why they exist later. If you pay attention to the stem shapes of verbs as you learn and study them, which I'm sure you will notice their patterns more and more. Being familiar with the and eventually knowing the patterns will make remembering them much easier.